Hello! So finally I'll get to sit down today. It's been a busy day, but I am going to head in now to do the sleeves. So because I'm doing actually two jumpers at the same time, the kitten and the puppy, I need to make 4 sleeves. I am going to start with one and I'm going to finish the rest of them on the off screen. But so with the sleeves, you have to make 2 and they would be repeat them because they would be exactly the same going up. I decided to change the color, not drastically, but enough. So what I'm going to do is instead of doing green sleeves, I'm going to do a gray sleeves, and I'm going to use the light gray for a first stripe because it will be striped, and the green for the stripes going up. I think we're continually doing 4 stripes in the end now, or maybe 3 stripes. It's like how you ever feel. Anyways, let's hop into it. So this is where I have done 2 already. Now I made here a few mistakes. First of all, I think I could have done the 3rd or 4th stripe here before the cast off. And another thing is, it says place the marker. I can't find my markers. I am so disorganized. And I used rings instead, and now I realize that I have to actually take it up and take my rings out because I can't take them out. So if you have a place marker, it's a little better. But what I'm going to use in a second round now for the sleeves is I'm going to, as a place markers, I'm going to use, this is a little hack, it's bookmarks. So anyway, what we need is smaller needles, and we need the color gray or main color. And what we're going to do now is we're going to cast on, because we are working on 6 to 9 size, we're going to cast on 39 stitches. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 39 stitches, okay? And now we are going to work on 7 rows in moss stitch as we did on the front and the back. So I'm going to head off. We start with the knit stitch, purl stitch, knit stitch, and you move to the end and you repeat 6 more rows that way. So you have 7 rows of moss stitch. I'm going to cut out the video here and I'm going to do it in the back of the video, so the video won't get too long. Now, so just done 7 rows of the moss stitch. That's how it looks like. You know, the light and the focus. Where's my camera? So this is how the moss stitch will look like. Now we are going to change our needle to 3.25, and I'm going to use color A for the first stripe. So color A, and we are going to purl to the end. The next, what would be 9 rows, actually 10, 11, no, 9 rows. We are working the lace part for the sleeve. So we're gonna add the color A and we're gonna purl to the end, and we're gonna change our needles to a bigger size. Now you're going to turn work around and you're going to knit to the end with the same color A. You're going to knit to the end. So we have the first stripe done for the sleeve. 2 done, and we are going to head into row 3. We're going to change back into the main color. So you can take this off. Do a little knot here between the 2 threads before we actually, in the end, we're going to thread them in, but it's just that it wouldn't be too loose here. So we're going to go back to the main color, and we are going to purl, and we're going to increase 1 stitch at each beginning. Yep. So we're going to purl and increase. So I'll do purl, and I don't drop the needle, I'll just go at the front and knit 1 to it. So there is a 2 now coming out of the 1. And I'm going to purl to the last stitch. I'm going to do exactly the same. Now, last stitch is an increased stitch again. It's literally what I do for increased stitches, I purl front and back. Okay, so you turn your work around, and we have a first lace row. We are now first row of the lace for lace panel. So we're going to knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to put yarn over. I'm just going to get the focus here. Yarn over, you knit 2 together, and you would be knitting 14, and you do this twice. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and we're going to do again, yarn over, knit 2 together, and we're going to knit 14, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and we're going to do it again. You yarn over, knit 2 together, and knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's our first lace row done. Now we are going to purl to the, all even rows are now purl rows, so we're going to purl to the end. Now let's work our third row on our lace panel. You turn the work around, you knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Is it? That's 5, 6, sorry. I was like, it shouldn't be there. So now we are doing yarn over, knit 2 together, and knit 10.
Waffles for me.
8, 9, 10. Sorry, Keen. I'll get your waffles. Just give me 5 minutes. Thank you. Yarn over, knit 2 together. You're going to knit 2 now. 1, 2. Yarn over, knit 2 together. And you can. Okay. 1, knit 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That thread there, I'm going to make it Nutella waffles for myself. It is a serious thread. So you yarn over, knit 2 together, and you're going to knit to the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm wrong. Check this out. So no, we are going to knit 2, we are going to do yarn over, knit 2 together, and then knit the 2. Okay, and it's funny enough, we actually don't go any further. So it's one of those. Okay, one moment, Kian, I'm coming. So now we purl. I'm gonna save that lad for a moment, and I'll come back when I'm at the end of the purl row. Okay. Okay. So we worked now the 5th row in our lace panel, and this is an increase row. So first, what we do is we increase the first stitch. Okay. Now we go into knit 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now yarn over, knit 2 together, and knit 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to repeat until to the end. Exactly, yarn over, knit together, knit 2 together, and knit 6. Yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 6, yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 6, yeah, 6. And now the last stitch we are increasing by front and back. Okay, it's an increased stitch. Now we should have now total in an increased row. Does that actually say? Okay, we should have 43 stitches. So if you want to count, you can count here. Next row we purl back. So you turn the work around, and now we're doing lace panel row 7. So row 7 is you knit 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 11. And now we are yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 2, yarn over, knit 2 together, and knit 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 2, yarn over, knit 2 together, and we are going to knit to the end. Now you could do here one more, but we're not. Don't think so. No, it says knit to the end. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so next row, 8th row, is a purl row. So we're going to purl to the end. Okay, turn your work around, and next row is a 9th row, and it's our increase row. If you haven't figured out yet, that every 4th row will be our increase row, and we keep going that until we have 59 stitches. What it means that we are increasing 10 times. So next row is our increase row, and by then we should have 45 stitches on the row, and it's also last row for our panel, the lace panel. So increase row, you knit first one front and back, then we are going to knit 12. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 12. What? This is not going to be in the work. 2 4 6 8 10 11 12. I don't know, what am I counting? Oh, so yarn over, knit 2 together, and you're going to knit another 14. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. Yarn over, knit 2 together, and I'm pretty sure we just knit to the end. And that, you knit to the last stitch and knit front and back as an increase row. Okay. Now we're going to turn our work around. I'm going to take this green as my color B, and I am going to use this color. Basically what we do now, at the beginning of the wrong side row, we continue in stocking stitch, working stripes of 2 rows in this color and 10 rows in main, while at the same time increasing 1 stitch at each end on every following 4th row. So we just had an increased row. So next, it's super easy. So it means that we have 2 rows in this and 10 rows in this. What means it's 12 rows. So in one stripe kind of a pass on here, we are increasing at the 4th row, 8th row and 12th row. I don't really know where I'm at a pointing here. 12th row, and then we're gonna, and then we're gonna change the color to 1, and we are the green, and then it's very easy to set a track. So we should have now 45 stitches on the stick, on a needle. So purl row first with the color A or B. And work around, you knit row back, that's your row 2. Now I'm going to turn work around. Jeez, I can't talk. And I'm going to take my main color, switch to the main color, and that would be my row 3. Now you turn the work around. Now we do row 4, and row 4 means it's an increased row. Okay, so again, first stitch, knit front and back, and you knit down to the last stitch. I think my dog wants to go out. You knit down to the last stitch. Last stitch, knit front and back, and that's our first increased row done. Okay, we have a lace panel, we have the 2 stripes. And we're on row 4 on the stripe panel. So now 5, 6 and 7 we keep working on a stocking stitch. So I'm gonna fast forward it in a video because it's very boring to look, but I'm just gonna say 5, 6, 7. So row 5 I purl down, row 6 I knit all the way down, end of it, row 7 I purl down. So it's 5, row 6, row 7, so this was row 7. Row 8 is now our increase row. So again, we are going to knit front to back on the first stitch, knit to the last stitch, and the last stitch, knit front to back for increase. And now we should have 49 stitches on the needle. That means we're halfway through our increase rows. So now this was row 8, 9, 10th and 11th row. We are going to do the same. We purl, knit, purl. So I'm going to fast forward it over again. So this is row 9, purl. Now we have row 10, knit to the end. Oh, and now we have purl row 11, so we purl to the end. Now, and we have the row 12. What it means, again, it's an increased row. So we're going to do the same. We are knitting front and back in the first stitch, and we knit to the end to the last stitch, and we're going to do that increase stitch there too. So front and back, knit to the last single stitch, last stitch. So last stitch, knit front and back as an increased stitch. So now we are done 12 rows from this green down to here, and that means that we have 2 green and 10 in the main color. So that means now we are going to pick up the green color and repeat exactly what we have done here. So we increase every 4th row. We should have now 51 stitches on the needle, not 49, 51 stitches. So I'm going to turn off the camera and I'm going to do off screen another repeat of that. And I'm probably going to add another 4, so 2 of this and 2 main colors. So I reach down to 59 stitches, and then I'll be back to you. Is that okay? So I have now done 59 stitches, increased up to 59 stitches. And you see that I cut you off and I was here, and we're going up to here now. So next what I need to do is I need to continue straight until my sleeve measures 17 centimeters, 6¼ inches. That means, where are we now? From the edge, we are 16 centimeters. 16 half. I would go for 16. Now I know here by looking at it that it is about 4 rows for 1 centimeter. So I'm going to knit another in a stocking, keep going for another 4 rows without growing it. So I start with a purl, knit, and I'll come back to you when I've done that, and we're going to measure it again. Back. I've done now these 4 extra rows. We're going to measure it now. Nice and flat. And it is actually 17, and it's 6½ if you're looking for inches, so it is enough. So next row, what we're going to do, and we're nearly at the end. I can't believe this. I honestly can't, but I'm so proud of myself. So we are going to place the marker at each end of last row, and then we work another 6 rows. So what we're going to do now is you're going to I'm using a clip for a postal nip, but if you have a place markers, you can use the place markers here. I'm just going to wrap it around needle like here, and I'm going to do the same to this side on the last stitch. That actually tells us where, when we did the front and the back, where we shaped the armholes and we casted off 5 stitches, these are going to be connected to that place. So next we are going to keep working for another 6 rows. So I'm going to do that off the screen again. I'm not going to bore you for knitting another 6 rows, but we continue in a stocking stitch. Now it doesn't say in a pattern that you should be doing a stocking stitch, but it just makes more sense. You can add here, because we're actually 6, that would be 7, 8, 9, 10. You could add another green line or whatever color in it, but I wouldn't. I would just get on with it as it is in the main color, instead of adding in an extra stripe here. Now, if it would be a bigger size, I would say you probably would, but it's no need here. So I'll come back to you when I'm finishing my 6th row. Okay, 6. So I've done the 6 from the place marker, and now we are going to cast it off. I'm going to cast it off knitwise, because I want it to a little bit face towards me when I am stitching it onto later on. I don't want to face it outward. I want to face it inward. So you're going to cast off all these 59 stitches, and you are going to repeat exactly as we did. So you can go back to the beginning and follow the guidance, or you can follow what you did on the sleeve if you're good enough to do that. If you're not good enough, if you are that way, can do it. But you're absolutely can go back on this video to run it again. So we need 2 sleeves. If you didn't like the colors, you can also go back to the original colors. I just think the color blocking, it's just me. I like to do things differently. Don't like to be same old, but that's me being silly. So now we are halfway through and I am so tired. At least I'm fed today. Yesterday I was starving by the end of the puppy. This video is going to be another long one, but at least I haven't been caught out yet. Now, that means if I get them all done, if you get them all done, the next stage would be attacking. I'm thinking here half-heartedly. I definitely going to attack them now when I get them all done. Probably tomorrow morning, I'll show it to you. And then we are ready to assemble. I'm reading at the pattern here, and yes, I definitely going to attack them because I want them to be, the edges be very easily having like a nice seam to them. The puppy will be, the kitten basically, the puppy stitch is, the puppy jumper or sweater has a pretty similar, we're going to do that one, or pretty simple that way. We're going to do that first, and then we're going to head to the kitten, because kitten, it is seem to be like more for a girly girl. There's a bit of a lace edging, and I was going to not do it because I wanted to get a unisex puppy and kitten so they can be given to anyone. But more I'm looking at it, it seems very interesting technique to do it, that there will be lace edging on sleeves. It's an optional, it doesn't have to happen. And also you can, kitten has a different edging for a neck. Again, you don't have to do it, you can go for the puppy one. But it's just because of the technical, and as the patterns are given here, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to just going to try them out, and we're going to record it, and hopefully they all going to be in one video, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to pull this apart. So this is sleeve 1. Now I did it very too short a little bit, but oh well. So this is sleeve 1. Like I say, it's all a bit of a curling, so tacking will stop that happening. It's quite actually large. If you fold it, the size is actually quite good. And now if I'm thinking back, they're just too far there to be out. And I'm gone, maybe not too far. I am going to pull in one of the fronts or the backs, whichever is handy here. I have the front here, the puppy on top of a basket is going to fit in here. It seems a little wider, but we are a little curled here as well, so tacking definitely will help with that. This is how it's going to be look. Okay, I'm gonna just turn the, this is how my sleeves are going to look. This going to fit into this sleeve, so definitely needs tacking. So this is our sleeve now. It has the lace edge at the bottom, and I've used the 2 color stripes here, and that's kind of the top part here. It looks a little bit right now like this is longer actually, but it's not. When we get there, it's going to be perfectly fine. It just needs to be tacked together because this is quite large as well on the size. But this is, yeah, repeat this one, and I'm going to do another one, and then we're nearly done. 2 days, or I don't know when we're gonna end up with it. I hope to finish it, get it to finish tomorrow, but it needs to be tacked. Like I said, I keep repeating myself. So I'm going to go now, finish the second sleeve, and then I'm going to go to tack it hopefully tomorrow morning. And if it is try by tomorrow evening, then I will be back in this room and we are going to do it. We start with the puppy, and we are going to close the seam, shoulder seam, one of the shoulder seam, and then we are going to do the collar and then we're gonna attach the sleeves, and we're gonna put the seams together. And then we're going to move to the kitten, because like I said, kitten might have a little bit more work there with the pig cut, neckline, and then there's optional the lace ones, but I think it could be a great option to really look into that type of edging as well. And I love lace. Anything lacy knitting is really that's my thing. Not the motifs, but this is maybe my weakness, the motifs. Maybe I should practice more. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to chat to you tomorrow.